So I've got my preferences. I'm going to load them. I'm going to launch Maya. And wait for it. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is create my project. So we'll just wait for Maya to finish loading. Be patient, Terry. Okay. That should almost be done. I think we're ready to go. Okay. I hate that there's a couple of bugs in this new version of Maya that they need to fix. But anyway, okay. I digress. All right. So create a project. And my name, and I'll put it on the desktop. And there we are. And hit accept. Okay, so I have my project there. All right, let's open that up so that we can see it. And I'm going to actually go and put all of my stuff that I need into that project, starting with the images. So I go to Photoshop. I actually want to make sure that we are. I'm going to go one frame longer here. All right. There's my animation. Okay. So I'm going to output that animation using those settings that I showed you. And it's still going into my source images, so that's good. We get to see that right there. There it is. All right, render it. Wait for it to finish. Might as well save that. And you can see the images here. Now, I go to my ball rig, download it, put it on my desktop. There we go. There it is. Right mouse click on it, 7-zip, extract here. There it is. I'll go to my scenes folder and drop that file into the scenes folder. So now I've loaded all the assets that I need to do the assignment. Okay? Yeah? All right. I wasn't going to talk through this, but I just can't help myself. I must talk. Okay. All right. So let's go ahead and create up our reference now. So we're going to use source images, or I'm sorry, not source. Yeah, we are going to use source images. But we're going to create an image plane to do that. And in order to do that, we have to create a camera. But, like I said, from now on, we're always going to create cameras. And because we're creating stuff, we're also going to name stuff. So we'll call it reference camera. And there we are. So the next thing that I'm going to do is tear off a copy of this. So there we go. And then I'll go panels. Try that one more time. That's weird. That shouldn't be happening here. I'm actually going to go back one step for those of you who are videotapers. And go to panels instead and go to look through selected first. There we are. And then go to tear off copy. There we are. And we'll set it up. Show none. Show manipulators off. Show grid off. And then show image planes. Okay? Now that we've got that, with the camera selected, I hit Control A to open the attribute editor. Scroll down to the environment rollout. Click on Create. Click on the file folder. Select one of the images. Hit Open. Choose Use Image Sequence. Set your timeline to match. And if you scrub the timeline, there's your animation. Okay? My floor disappears. Oops. Okay. I'll just resize that. Hit Control A to close the attribute editor. And let's go to our perspective window and select the camera. Go back to the front view, or go to the front view. And set your shot up so that you can basically line the floor up here with the grid line. That's the 0 grid line for Y. So basically what I'm going to do with the camera selected is move the camera up, and that will move the entire image plane, and then set your shot up something like this. I'll also move my camera over so that the ball is centered. That's just taking advantage of where the ball comes in when I import it. There we are. Turn off the grid. We don't need it. And let's hide the camera now, because we don't need to see that either. So there we go. Now we need the ball in the scene. File, import. Import takes us to our scenes folder in our project. Yay! Yay, projects. Okay? Click on the ultimate ball. Open it. There we are. Go back to our perspective view, because we need to set this up. Oops. There we are. Let's have a look at the ball. We're going to select the root node. The root node, like I said, is the boss node. And we're going to turn off the extra controls because we don't need squash and stretch. We're going to select a ball type. I'm going to choose tennis ball. That's fine. And then what we'll do is we'll go back to our front view and we'll scale the ball up to match roughly the size of this ball here. I think that, yeah, frame 11 is when it hits the ground. So with the ball selected, I'm going to grab the global scale. Now this is important. I'm clicking on the words and they highlight blue. That activates that channel so that I can middle mouse click and drag in this window to resize the ball. Okay? All right, we're good to go. We're ready to start animating. At this point, and I haven't done this yet, I might save the file at this point. So let's go ahead and do that. And I'll call it setup. Just in case it crashes and I don't want to go through all this setup stuff again. All right. Now I'm going to grab the main node. All right, it's the one that's kind of centered on the ball. It's the vice president node, okay? For all you that are following the American election. Okay. Maybe that's a bad reference. Okay, we'll activate the move tool. Move the ball up so that the bottom of the ball is lined up with the bottom of my drawing, because as the ball moves down, I want to stay lined up that way. Oh, we're going to try that one more time. Oh, it's there. There we are. Make sure it's selected. Hit S to set a key. Ball's going to move at frame 3, so I'm going to move the ball at frame 3. Hit S, set a key. Frame 5, ball's going to move. I'm going to move it. Hit S. Frame 7. It's basically every other key because this is on 2s. 9, 11. I'm hitting S every time. You can see the keys popping up here. 13. Now the ball's going up, so I go to the top of the drawing, or take that leading edge. Hit S. Hit S. Slowing in here, so the drawings are closer. And there we are. Then what you can do is basically just turn this image plane off here by going show image planes off. And if you play it back, they match each other. So, Save scene as. Rotoscope. Like that's some kind of a verb. There you go. You've been rotoscoped. All right, and there it is.